Yesterday we have seen how to create variables, and let me open my AA. What are the limitations? Okay, actually there are three common things we will do whenever any process will start. Okay, one is creating variables, it is common, and configuration file. Okay, one is configuration file, and the folder structure is going to be common, and error handler and log files. These are all the 5 things we have to do for each and every process. So yesterday we have seen how to create variables and the best practices. So today we will just learn about this configuration file, how to create configuration file, so that the configuration file is to eliminate hard coding. If you think any value, they will provide you BRD, right? In that BRD, if you think anything may change, if you have any benefit or doubt, just go to configuration file and add it in the configuration file and read it from there. Okay, we will do in real time, we will do like that. If there any value, any single value, if it is a 1, it may change to 2 in future. We have to take it from the configuration file only. Anything, even if a space also, don't take space. Yeah, in some cases if it may change, then you have to put it, you have to read it. Okay, null values, anything, any minor value, you have to take it from the configuration file only, because we don't want to touch our code again and again. Before in the development it is okay, but some values may change in UAT, some values may change in production. Okay, so we should not touch the code again and in the UAT and the production. To eliminate those kind of issues, we will use our configuration file. Okay, this is the header file for configuration file, which you need to add it. Our AA will accept only UTF-8 encoding. Okay, for that purpose we will use UTF-8 encoding. There are so many ways for creating XML files, configuration files actually. So, but we will follow this one in real time. There are so many actually. You can create it anyway, but I will follow this one. It will be easy for me. Okay, why? Because I will explain for you also. I will recommend this type of configuration file. So okay, the first thing is configuration. Just add this main node. Okay, this is the main node for us. If you don't know how to create configuration, just follow these steps. And then the next, what are the common variables, common values across all the regions? I mean, in the UAT, in the production, in the dev environment, there will be some common values, right? They will not change. So we will place it in the top. Okay, let's say for region, what is the use of region? I will explain now. Okay, this is the end node. Between these two nodes, we will add that value. Okay, we will add value. What is region? Dev. We are in the development region. We will add it as dev. Why? I will show you what is the purpose of it. Okay, and then max limit. These are all common things. Okay, you can give anything inside node. You can give anything. It is not compulsory that you have to give max limit and region only. Just that you have to start the tag and you have to end the node. Start node and end node should be there. For our development purpose, the value is important. What we are going to give. Right now we are in the development region, so I am giving our dev over there. Okay. While moving to UAT, I will change it to UAT, so that by seeing the log file, we will understand. Okay, it is in the UAT environment. It is in the production environment. Before moving to before deploying the task into UAT, we will change that value to UAT. Okay, why? What is the use of it? You will get to know. Okay, don't worry. And the max limit is 2 or 3. Okay, don't worry. What is the use of it? I will tell you. Just create it, and there will be some more things you need to add. Just leave it for now. It is up to you. You can add as much as you can. If there are any common things, let's say in our project we have partial match, exact match, no match. It is going to be the same in UAT and production also. So those are all the things, all the common values for any project. Before taking project, we will add. Okay, we are not starting our project, so we will add it whenever it required. Okay, don't worry about that. and now I will create dev node. Okay. So based on the region, the value, the meaning of this, the region, why I am giving dev as region. Here I am creating one more subnode, which is dev. So whatever the values which are for, the values which we will take it in the dev region are going to be inside this node. Again, in the same way, we will create one more UAT. So the values which are for UAT region, whatever the values we will going to use in UAT, we will place it inside this node. Okay, let's make it something interesting now. So while reading, let's okay, you know, everybody knows how to read values from XML file. Okay, you will pass that XPath. Instead of passing my full XPath, I will pass a variable which I have read in the region. I will read this region node, whatever the value inside it. Okay, it will read, it gonna read all the values inside dev. While moving to UAT, I will change it to UAT, so it is going to read our UAT values directly. So we are not going to touch the code. We are not touching our code. Just we are changing that value, and it is accordingly it is going to behave. Our robot is going to behave. Likewise in the production also. Prod and close tag. Now, while starting our projects, we will add values to this file, particular file. Okay. Okay, just save it for now. Disk in my docs, cache transactions, ROB configuration, and the name of this file is going to be config always. Okay, config.xml. If you don't know how to create configuration file, you have to write, you have to add extension as .xml, and the file save as type is going to be all files, and encoding is going to be UTF-8. These three. If you don't know, just follow these things. Okay. So it is going to be a configuration file for our projects from now. Okay. So how to read values, you know. Let me create. Let's see how to read values from the configuration file and the best practices to follow for configuration file. Just now we have created one file, and let me add one more value to dev. Edit. Okay. Let me create input file path. Input file path. Input file path. And for now I am not adding any path. Let's, whatever the value it will read, our AA will read, just for purpose and just giving you dev. So just for your understanding, whatever may be the value, it will read it, don't worry, just for example purpose. This is the child node for UAT prod. Okay, save it, and just manually check once whether the file is created accordingly or if there is any errors in the configuration file. Okay, just try to open it in the browser, it will show you before reading values from it. Okay, I have XML editor. Okay, let me open it in the browser itself. Oops. Where is into my Internet Explorer? Okay, just leave it. I will open it with the XML editor. Yeah, something is the mistake. Just check it. We have a mistake. If you have any mistakes, it will show like that. Otherwise, it's going to be different actually. Configuration file dev region limit. Here I didn't close it this max limit. Okay, Control S and try to open one more time. Let me open. Yeah, you will get like this. If there is any error, you will get like this. Okay, it should be like this. Whatever you have added, it should show. Okay, so what are the best practices for using XML command or XML command? How to read it? What is the purpose of div and the max limit? Let's discuss about them. Okay, these are the common things you have to follow. Okay, and the rest of the values are going depends on the process. What process we are going to do, we will add it in the dev and production and in the. Okay, you can add your name, developer name, some stuff, anything. Okay, you can add it over there. So we will use start XML session. Okay, the session name is going to be always read config. Use read config. Okay, anything we can give, but I will prefer to use read config. Okay, and you know what is the use of session name? Everybody, I'm sure. I don't know, but if you don't know, just ask. Okay, just raise your hand. So you will select your XML, the one which we created just now. Okay, inside configuration you will select, and you have to change it to AA application path, because it is going to be there is some hard coded value. It will work if I am not going to change this up to AA application automation anywhere files. It will work in only my system. Okay, to eliminate that, we will use our system defined variable, which will give us the path where the AA is installed. Okay, by default, whenever you install AA in your any system, it will create this path up to automation anywhere up to here. It will create. So these are the common procedure we are going to follow. Automation anywhere, MyDocs, these are the common things. Anyway, we will follow. Up to here, it will system dependent. That means if you install it in the C drive, this path is going to create in the C drive. Okay, application path it is we call it as application path. So to eliminate that application path, if you change that to application path, that means if you deploy it in any other system, it will take the path where you have installed directly. Insert. Okay, that is the use of that application path. So for each and everything, you need to, whenever you pass any path, you have to change it to application path. Okay, up to automation anywhere files, from C to up to automation anywhere files. Okay, don't change automation anywhere. You will see two things: automation anywhere files / automation anywhere. Up to automation anywhere files, you have to change it to AA application path. Okay, then read. For reading purpose, we will use get nodes. Okay, get nodes. Okay, the same session name it is giving. That means it is going to read from that XML file only, which we have shown above. Okay, which we have passed above. And XPath expression. How to pass XPath expression? Don't use read multiple nodes. Okay, always try to use single nodes only. For at least for configuration file. If you are generating any XML file in the real time, that means in the runtime you are getting any, while developing from the website, if you are getting any XML file, you can use multiple nodes, but here you have to use single node only, one at a time. Before that, you have to create some variables to read the values. Okay, again same str, what are the region, str region, and int max limit. Whatever the nodes I have specified, I am giving the same name. Just observe for best practice, for understanding purpose. Okay, if somebody look at our code, okay, region is saved here, max limit is saved on. Okay, I told you how to give that names. And the next one is str input file path. Input file path. And I'm not, if you observe, I'm not initializing anything, and I'm not checking that regular expression box also. Okay, so get nodes now. So just path, what is the path expression? What is XPath expression? Inside here in our configuration file, just you have to follow this way from which value you are trying to get. Okay, these are all the nodes. We will construct an XPath. We will construct based on these nodes. We will construct our XPath. So first main node is our configuration node. Inside configure, if you want to read dev value, you have to pass configuration and region, because the starting node is configuration and the value which we are going to be in the dev, in the region node. So for reading dev value, you have to pass these two values. So let's see. Always start with this slash, okay, and then configuration. Just try to use copy paste only, because if you type any single mistake, it won't be identified. We have to search a lot. We don't know what is the error actually we are getting. Okay, it shows that node not found error. So I will try to use copy paste only. If you are good at typing, if you are that confident I won't do any mistakes, then you can type it also. The thing is, if you do a single mistake also, it is going to throw an error inside anything. Okay, and select the value of that str region and save it. So it will get the dev value for you. Okay, and the next thing, okay, just leave about the max limit. In the same way, we will read the max limit value anyway. So if I want to read, if let's say for example we are in the dev region, so I have to read this whatever the values for dev. Okay, so how to pass it now? Get nodes, again same, slash configuration, because it is the main node which we are going to use. It is our main node. It is going to be, because we have ending at the end. Okay, so we have to pass it, and then slash and region. Now I am not going to pass dev as we passed region. I am not going to pass. Instead, I will pass str region. Okay. So while moving to UAT, I will change the value inside my configuration file to UAT. So directly it will understand. Okay, I have to read UAT values. Then what is the value you are going to read? Input file path. Just pass it. Now this is how we will do. Okay, so based on the region, it will directly read now. We will not touch our code before moving UAT. We will not touch anything. We are not touching code. Instead, we are touching our configuration file, just changing this single value to UAT and deploying it into the UAT. While just, okay, you will get to know how to deploy, how to change these values while uploading to the control room. We will see. And just if I place a message box, my message box, F2 region, F2 input file path. So okay, I have to store it in our project only, which I gave set as default, and read config. Read config underscore task. Okay, now let's run. So we will use the same XML path while we are starting our projects. Okay, so dev. If I change it to UAT one value, it is going to give me, if I am changing this to region to UAT now, so it will read this one. Okay, for example, just now. So it will read this thing. So I am not passing this value at all, like this. you have to prepare your configuration file. See, it is going to read our UAT values directly. We are not touching our code while changing to UAT or production. We are changing the configuration file directly. It is going to read all our values. This is how we have to follow. Okay? Which one? Okay, yep. This one. Configuration file. Actually, there. Let's take one example. You have one input file path, input Excel file, where you have to process all the records. It is your input file, Excel file. There are some chances that it is going to change. The path may change, the value, the name of that file may change in the UAT region. Okay, so they will tell us this is going to be your location and the file name in the UAT, and in the production this is going to be your path, and they will mention it in the BRD. Okay, if they are not mentioning also, you will create a node. Anyway, you are creating the same nodes. If you observe, in the UAT I am creating the same node, in the dev I am creating the same node, and in the production also I am creating the same node. If they are planning to change it in the future also, you will just change these values instead of touching your code, in which whatever may be the region, your robot should read that values. For that purpose, based on the region, we are dividing it. Okay, if you are in the dev region, the robot should read only dev values. It may be input file path, it may be dev URL, particularly URLs, because we are going to, if insurance and banking setup we are going to work, so they will not give us the direct link which they are using in the real time. Instead, they will create a replica for UAT and production and for dev environment, so that it won't get affect their day-to-day life, day-to-day transactions, whatever it may be. Let's say any process which consists one URL. Let's say, for example, one web URL we are trying to automate. Okay, so they will create the same replica for dev environment also. They will slightly change that URL. Okay, it will be it is going to looks like the same as they are using, but it will not affect their whatever the main server. Okay, they will create a duplicate website for us. They will create a dummy data for us. So using that, we will develop. While moving to UAT, the some security details they will increase, and the data which we are going to play, they will increase. The test data, it is going to be somewhat secured, and in the production, it looks like the same. That means whatever the data they are using in the real time and the production environment. So they will try to increase the volume. I mean the number of test cases, number of security wise, if it includes any transaction value amount, so they will try to increase it and test it. Okay, in the production, it looks like both live and production environments are looks like same, but they are not same. It is not going to hit the main server of their application, but it looks like same. So once it is passed, they will deploy it into the live. So to further purpose, whatever the values they are going to give for dev environment, we will store it over in the dev node, in the dev subnode. Okay, so before moving to UAT, we should not change our code. Like if I pass it here dev, it is going to read dev only. That means whatever the values, usually we will construct our XPath expression like this. If you pass it like this, it is going to always it is going to read that values only dev, and while moving it to UAT, you have to change these values. Each and every time you have to touch your code. To eliminate that simple thing, we are passing our region, in which region we are working. Before moving to UAT, I will change that configuration value, one value, just the region value. Okay, it is going to read our UAT values directly. While moving to deploying to production, I will just change, and I will add it whatever the values they will provide me for UAT and for production. I will add it over here. So the nodes are going to be same, because we have developed using these nodes only. for each and every region, the nodes are going to be same. The only thing is just we are changing the region. We are changing the values inside it. Whatever the values, for example, the path, input Excel path, it is if it is going to change, we will just add it over here. So it is going to read that value instead of whatever we have played in the dev, and it will work. They are going to be same. The data may change inside the data. The test cases may change. Let's say in the dev region they have given you 10 records. In UAT it may be going to 10 or 15, 20 records. Okay. So for that purpose, to eliminate, to change our code each and every time, we will use this way of doing. Okay. And the rest of the things are same. For configuration file, just you need to read it. Okay. This is how you have to prepare our, while doing our project, we will add all our values to this file. Okay. Whatever the input path we are going to use, whatever the, let's say we are, our first project maybe are going to be a Windows web-based application. Okay. So we will pass URL over here, and we will try to read it from here. We will add it once we are while starting our project. Okay. Step 2, this one. This is going to read my region first. So in which region I am? So it is going to, if the value is dev, it is going to give dev for you, and then based on it, the next all the values, because it is common. It is a first line. The step 2 is going to be common. So if I change it to UAT, it will, the next lines, whatever 3, 4, 5, 6, they are not there, but 3, 4, 5, 6 are going to read the dev regions or UAT regions, and just reading that region, which region we are performing our operations, are we in which region we are. It is the step 2 is going to read that region value, UAT or production or dev. So the next lines are going to act like that. According to the second line, they will going to act. Okay. So, okay, any questions? No, it is not going to affect, but we are not supposed to touch. We are not supposed. If you touch the code in UAT, again it is coming to your development. We are there in UAT and production. We don't have our development license actually. You are going to have only runtime. So it will not allow us to change anything. It will come to again development region. If it is coming to development region, again it has to pass the COI. It is going to be an escalation. If you are coming back and going back again, if you are changing the code again and again, it is going to be an escalation. Configuration file. They will allow us to change it. We can change it in the UAT and the production also directly. Configuration file, we can change it because it's just a text file. But in UAT, you are going to have only runtime client. There you are not allow. It will not allow. AI will not allow us to edit our code. Okay. Again, if you have to change anything, it will come to again to dev environment. It has to pass COE because you may change something else also. Yeah. So for that, to eliminate, I told you already, you will get 7 to 10 days for simple process. In these 7 to 10 days, it will take 5 days. Let's say it took 5 days for your development. Within 5 days of time, you have to pass production. That means if you are getting it back, again you are going to COE, it will take 1 day to approval. Again, the next day UAT, next day production. It is not going to be that easy. It has to pass so many approvals, so many things are there in between. To eliminate that thing, we will use this kind of. So we will create all the XML, whatever the values while starting our project, we will add the code in this file. Okay, don't worry. And the next thing is log files. Creating our log files. This is going to be common for all the processes. I told you what is the use of log file. Whenever there is any error occurs, based on the log file only you have to analyze. The more log files you put, the more chances are you will identify the error easily. Okay, you can place as much as you can. There is no restriction, but it should be meaningful, right? For one command, you are placing 3-4 lines of log files. It is going to be a performance issue. For executing those 3 lines, it may take some fraction of 500 milliseconds. Okay, so place all the log files meaningfully. in a meaningful way. It should give some information for you. When you read it, it should give some information. It is also like story, like our whatever they have mentioned in the BRE, it should be like that. Okay, the same thing we are following everywhere in our development. If you read the code, it is going to be like, yes, by reading the comments, they should understand the process, what it is doing. By reading our log files, they should have, okay, so you have to give some meaningful comment, what do you say, lines, whatever. You have to write your logs in a meaningful way so that if somebody reads, it should be understandable. Okay. Okay, how to create them first. Okay, let me go create one more task. In the main task, this is going to be our main task. Okay, while starting our project, this is the file which is going to be main task. So we will add some comments before that. Who is the developer, what he is doing, everything we will add some comments. I will tell you how to add comments. For now, just take one comment only. The first 10 lines is around 5 to 10 lines is going to be comments only. About the process, about the variables, everything. Okay. I will tell you in the best way for creating variables, commenting in the main task. Okay, in each and every task we will use the same thing. Okay, don't worry, I will tell you about. Okay, for now just take it. And in the main task, okay, this is going to be my main task, and the process name is, okay, we followed Robo's name, right? ROB 10001. This is going to be our main task. Okay. First, in the main task, you are going to read configure it. That means for the first line is going to be error handler, and the next line is our log files. So first create three variables. For any task, you have to create 3 variables. One is str log file path. 3 variables are going to be common. Str snapshot, and int success. This is going to be a flag, and it is our developer choice. So I am initializing it as 1. Why? You will know. Okay, don't worry about that. Why I have initialized it to 1, you will get to know. Okay, don't worry. So now I have to add log file path and snapshot inside, log file name. Okay, so why? Sorry, somebody pinged. Can you explain 2, second and third lines are? Sure. Sorry, I was not looking at the chat box. Can you explain 2 and 3, Nandan? Okay, sure. See, oh, where is that? 2 and 3. See, in the configuration file, first we are passing the path from where you have to read where is our configuration file, and what is there inside. In the first line, I am passing just the path, whatever the values I have added. Okay, and the next thing, I am constructing my XPath expression. I want to read my region first, because based on the region only the next lines are dependent. If it is a dev, they are going to read dev. Okay, for that purpose the second line always is going to be our region thing. And the next line, okay, there may be chances there are, I told you, whatever the common values are there, you have to put it inside the configuration node, inside this configuration node. So you can read it, but based on the region, the values, the nodes which we have created, dev is going to be a subnode. This is our main node. This we call as a subnode. So we are passing that based on this value. It is going to read directly. So Nandan, hello.
Tell me, I understand.
You understood, right? Hello.
Yes, sir, I understood, sir.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Anyway, you will while doing the project, Again, I will explain. Don't worry, if you want.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Just because these 5 sections, variable creation part and task naming and log files, XM configuration file and error handlers are going to be common, and the rest of the comments are going to change based on the process which we are using. Okay.
Okay, sir.
There are some more things I will explain accordingly, but these are the common things you have to follow for each and every process. That's why I'm taking these configurations and for now. Okay. Anyway, while doing the project, we will discuss more about that, how to read it, values, everything. So, what main task? So, before that, you need to pass your log file path, where you are going to create your logs, where you want to place your log files. Okay. So, for dev region, we have created one. Already, we have created to store all our log files here. In this place, we are going to place our log files. So just copy it, sorry, and create one more node for dev. Paste it. Actually, if you see here, the value which this is not required for us up to automation engineer files, because we are going to pass our AA application path instead. So you just need up to automation engineer, MyDocs, cache transaction, and the robo name and logs. Okay, we will pass AA application path. We have default variable, so it will give us the path which I have just now deleted, and the rest of this is going to be same. Okay, in UAT they may change. There are some chances. So we will add the same location over here. If it is going to be changed in the UAT, just change this value inside tag. Whatever there inside those 2 nodes, we will change it. That's it. We will not touch our code. Okay, they will give us the option in UAT machine. We have that we can change our configuration file anytime. Okay, and in the production also same thing. Yeah, I told you, right? AA application path will give us that. AA application path, AA application system defined variable. It is going to give us up to from C to AA automation and where files. We don't need that. Because if I pass C, again it is going to be hard coding, because it will work in my system only. 12 minutes, that time not possible. No need actually. No need. You can give it directly over there, or you can pass it over here. Doesn't matter. I will try to pass there only. I will follow that. If you pass it over also, it won't affect, but because if somebody looking at our code, they won't understand, right? What is AA application path? Who don't know AA? Okay. So for that purpose. Okay, and again the snapshot path. Right now itself, I am starting your project. If you understand, we are started already for project 1. If I am creating all the variables which are common for all the processes, so we have started our project 1. Maybe you don't know what is the project, but yes, these are all the common things we have to do before starting. This is going to be common for next 3 projects also. Okay. SNAP snapshot path. Okay. So if they plan to change the location, you can directly change it from based on the region. You can change it directly. Okay. So let's check one more time whether we have if there is any error in the config file. Yeah, it's correct. Done. So now you have to name it. In the real time, you have to name it. The log file. Actually, there are 3 types in creating log file. It depends upon the process. Okay. One is you can create per day one log file. Whenever that robo runs, it will add it in the same file. Okay, like that. Otherwise, for one day we will create one log file, or for one process you are going to create one log file, or for record per record. That means in an Excel there are 100 records, and you have to process all of them. So per record, I will suggest you go by, for one record you create one log file. So it will be easy for you. Let's say if you go by robo name, if you are creating a log file based on your robo name, whenever the robo runs, it will create the logs inside the same file. Let's say you have that robo processed 100 records and 56th record failed, and you want to investigate on that. You don't know where is the 56th record directly. You have to check each and every file, come one by one, and then you will get to know, okay, here is my error. It will be hard for you. If you want to investigate it quickly, and if you want to know the error exactly in a minute of time, you have to go by record process. Okay, for each and every record, just create one log file. It won't consume that much memory. For one log file, if it consists of around 100 lines, it is going to be 1 or 2 KB only. So don't worry about that, and we will delete it frequently. By our robo itself delete. Okay, we have that option directly. Let's say we have, from the last 10 days we are running that robot, and it is created around 1000 log files. We will say that just delete log each and every time. When it completes 10 days, it will delete last 5 days log files. From 1 to 5 days, it will delete. It will keep, and if they are not required, again after 10 days, it will create the next 5 log files. Next 5 days log files. So like that we will. Within 5 days we can investigate, we can check anything. Okay. So like that we will prepare. Just I am suggesting you to go by, but depends on the process. If it is a small process, we don't require that much log files for each and every process. If it is small single operation file like Excel and one web application, and it will consist only 3-4 ATMX files. We don't need that much log files for each and everything. Yeah, that is developer choice. It is up to you and your architect. Okay, they will suggest. If they are suggesting you to go by that, you can go by that. Okay, I will use always record by record only to investigate quickly whatever the error is there. Okay, how the robo is performing, what time it is taking to complete one record, each and everything. For one record, how much time it is taking. Okay, to analyze all these things, definitely you need to do that record by record process. Record for record, you have to create one log file. Okay, so we have log file. Before that, you need to assign to name for that. Okay, the first line is okay. We will change it accordingly. So far we are discussing our log file. So let's do that thing first. str log file name and assign one name to it. How to assign name? Add log file first. This is going to be common. Underscore date day underscore F2 month. These are all system defined variables. Day will give you the date, today's date 13th. Month will give you the month, F2 second, sorry, year, F2 hour, F2 minute, and F2, what is that next thing, second, sorry, second, yes. If you want to add millisecond also, not required. Millisecond is not required actually. Okay, this is going to be our log file name if you are going to create for one record. Okay, and because we haven't, this is going to be our first line, not first line actually, after error handler. This is going to be our first thing. Okay, after reading configuration file, you have to create your log file. Okay, that is our first task we will do. Just okay, I will explain how to pass the run task, everything. Just this is the way you have to create your log file. And it's, as I said, there is no record. Based on the record, we will create one log file. But here it is showing, it is not showing any record number or anything. Let's say, for example, in this project, so for example, this is our input file. Let's assume this is going to be our record number. Based on the record number, we will identify the log file. If we got any error, we will directly go to that particular log file based on the record number. So once reading, because we haven't read our input file, so there may be chances that we will get error before that only. Before reading our input file only, there are some chances, right? So to that purpose, we are naming this log file as log file underscore date underscore year underscore minute. So if the log file name is, okay, let me show you how it will create log files, then you will understand. Where is log file? Logs, sorry. Log file. So I will just pass dummy for one dummy value and then change it accordingly. So we don't require first AI application path up to automation anywhere files, delete and pass AI application path, and the value which we have read from the configuration file, we will pass from the read configuration to our main task. Okay. Okay, those things I will explain later. So how to name it first, right? F2 log file name .txt. It is going to be like this. So if you are getting what we have to give inside, just don't worry about this. Sorry. This is going to be there like this. We will create. So it will log whatever we are entering inside the text box. It will log it. But I told you, based on for one record I will create one log file, but there is no such identifier that it will identify our record, in which record you got error directly. Okay, once we are complete reading our input file, after reading our Excel file, for example, you will get that record number. So we will append it. After complete reading our input file, maybe it is going to be our second or third task. Once complete reading our input file, we will append that SN number to our log file. How to append it? Just again same variable operation, copy and paste, same log file name, and append it. F2 log file name underscore F2. What is if I am storing SN number inside prompt assignment, it will append it directly. So based on the record number, you will identify directly. So in which record, if they are saying in the fifth record I got error, so you will directly go to fifth record number and you will take that number, what is the fifth record number, and you will go to your log files and search for it in the log file name. Directly you will find error, what exactly happened. Likewise for snapshot also we will add the same thing, the number. Same thing for snapshots also, we will create one name for it. After reading our SN number, we will append it directly. Okay. So the same thing again, just so by seeing itself you can say when the time of that, when the record got processed also. By seeing the log file itself, you can say when the record got processed and what is exactly happened, everything. Sorry, not variable, snapshot. It will take the snapshot. If there is any error occurs, then only it will take the picture. It will take the screen capture of our desktop directly. So you will, by seeing that snapshot, you can identify what exactly happened during that record. Okay.
So we have to change the variable.
Which one? In which line?
Here we give snapshot for log file name.
Log file name. I didn't get it.
code.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yes, we need to change it. Maybe I missed that. Yes, here you need to change it. So this is going to be our snapshot name. Okay, once after completely reading our input file, you will append that again to the snapshot also. Okay. So this is going to be snapshot, and how to create, what is the data you need to provide inside this text box. Okay. So F2, first thing is, what is the ATMX file name? In which ATMX file name we are processing? The log file belongs to which ATMX file? I told you we will divide the process into subtasks. For example, in our case, I have already created read configuration file, and I will create one reading from Excel task, and again I will create, as we plan to go by web application first. So one, let's say if I am taking NSC, I will create one NSC task, 3-4 different tasks, and I will call it together. It will complete our process. So in which file? So you have to just pass the task name of your. Okay. So for that you need to create one variable, again task name, str task name. So why I am creating, I will explain. Just again do the same variable operation, and let's say this is going to be our hard coded value because it is our developer choice. Okay, don't worry, these things are not going to change in future also. 1001, this log file is going to be whatever the log files I am creating now. Inside this task, we will provide just the task name, ROB, whatever the task, in which task you are creating that log file, you have to pass that name as str task name. Okay, so each and every time typing is very hard for us, right? Each and every time, whenever we will place around in one file, and if there are 300 lines of code, for at least for 3-4 lines we will add one log file. What is happened? Okay, so each and every time I have to type. Instead, I will just pass that name, str task name, and just give some space or one tab directly. Okay, sorry, you have to go with space. Okay, some space. Then the time, date and time factor. Okay, same thing again, date, day slash month slash year. At what time we got that? Which one? Yes, day, month, year. That is log file name. This will gives you when that command when it is executed. Let's say you did one object loading, you did some set text operation. When you did that, when the command got executed, based on the time you can see how much time it is taking from coming from one command to another command. Each and every analysis you can do for that purpose, and we will add it our time factor also. Now time, our, you have directly, you can add timestamp, but don't use it. A best practices says that don't use add a timestamp. Okay, you have to pass system defined variables, all system defined variables, month, each and second, and millisecond also. Here you will add millisecond also. Sometimes one command may execute within milliseconds also, you will get to know for that purpose. Okay, and if it is a log file and the next line is going to be info. Why info? You will get to know again. Info means it will give us some information. Let's say for one record we have created some 100 log file commands, and you will get error in only one command. It is executed, it will write all the 100 lines, but you will get only one error line. So to identify it is easily. Info means it is giving you some useful information. That command executed successfully. I have set a text inside text box successfully, like that. But if you get any error, directly you will get error. Instead of info, you will write error directly. In the error handler command, we will pass log file there also, same log file. There we will give error. So if there is any error occurs, it will go to our error handler and it will log it directly. The same thing we are going to do in the error handler also. So it will type error. So by seeing that one line, we have 10 lines now, 100 lines. Instead of we will go and check one line directly. Okay, this is the error, this is the error description, this is the error line number where I got error, and I will go to my snapshot and I will check it what exactly happened, and I will analyze. Okay, for that purpose, give info over here, and then the description. Description, it is going to be grammatically not exactly, it depends, but it should give some meaningful information. Okay, if you are good at English, you can give, but not required always, but always follow that. It should give some meaningful, if somebody reviews it, it should be understandable, right? What command it is executed success. Okay, let's say in our case, reading configuration file completed successfully, like this. And if you want to assign anything else, like what are the values it is reading, okay, what is the pathway it is reading, some important locations, like in which region we are performing. If you want to know in the first line itself, in which region the robot is running, because sometimes UAT and production will go parallel. UAT tester will test the UAT code, and the production, they will move the code to without passing UAT also for time, to save some time. They will directly test it in the production also parallelly. If they have if the time is very less, they will test it parallelly. So to identify which log in which region we are testing, you can pass this. So they will share only log file. So based on the log file, you need to understand, right? So you can pass region variable, str region. From our main task, we will from our read configuration, whatever the region value which we read here, okay, we will read our region value. It may be UAT, or it may be dev, or it may be production. We will pass it that value from our read configuration to our main task. How to pass, I will tell you. Okay, so whenever you are passing values from one task to another task, just you need to copy paste that values. Don't create again and again. Just those values, whatever the variables which are whatever the values required for another task. Let's say in the input file we will read it, and we need those values somewhere else in the task. So use the same variable which you used for reading that value, and use the same value whenever you are going to use. So it is going to save so much time for you as a developer. In what way, I will tell you. Okay, while passing the variables, I will tell you what is the use of it actually. Yes, you need to copy it manually. You can copy all at a time. You can copy all is there. Okay, but we cannot select these are all the only variables I need. We don't have that option. You can copy one at a time or all. That's it. Multiple variables, there is no option for us. You need to copy one at a time only then. Okay, so I will pass that region successfully, and if there are any values, let's say you need to type environment. Don't worry about the spellings. Okay, str region. So by this, if the robot is running in the UAT, it will give you that information. Okay, even you can add in which machine it is running. What is the VDI name? For example, my system name is Karthik R. Okay, it will give you the VDI in which it is running also. You can go by this F2 system. We will system SY. These things I will add in the first line, not in all the log files. I will follow this. In the first line, I can, for more information in which region it is running, in which machine it is running, all that information I can get. Okay, I will use the system defined variable. This is type system inside of it. Type F2, press F2, and then go to system. This is our system defined variable system, and then select user ID. This variable gives us all the information, system information, everything, each and everything. Okay, user ID, there is a user domain, user profile, username. This will give us the system name in which we are running. For example, in my case, it will give my system name. Okay. So this is SYSTEM system name. Only in the first line we will add these two, whatever the variables. So I am saying that you can add some values. Let's say, for example, if you are reading from input file, you will add these are all the values I am reading if requires. Okay, you can pass variables and you can see, okay, this value is I got this value from the configuration file by seeing the log file. Sorry, from the configuration file or from the input file. Okay, it is stored in the variable successfully. By seeing the log file, you can say. Okay, but not all the variables. At least if you check for one value, okay, reading successfully completed. Okay, because this is the value which we are typing. We are not sure whether it is reading or not. We don't know whether it is read that value or not. So to check that, we will pass one variable, any one. And having said that, you should not do any CID, sorry, client information. You should not display any client information. So whatever the value which is there, which will not violate their security, client security, only you can use that type of values. In my case, RE number, it will not show anything about client information. So this type of variable, so that I can understand, okay, it is reading something. Okay, this is how we are going to create our configuration. I mean, sorry, log file. Which one? This code. Okay, sure. But it will not give you any information. Instead, I will share something more informal. At just dummy purpose, I am explaining. While doing the projects anyway, you are also doing the same thing. Don't worry about that. ATMX files. Okay, do it. I will show you. Any questions? I'm done with my session for today now.